All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Post Play, and we are coming to you live on anything that has Sports 5 on it. My name is Noel Zanater, alongside Ali Peak, Don Aliado. We do have a special guest today. We have Coach Jong Uichico of Gilas. He is here. We are going to talk about the competition. That competition actually begins in just a few days, May 12 to 18. The Philippines will go up against the rest of Southeast Asia, and the winner books a seat to the FIBA Asia Cup. And we're all excited because Gilas is supposed to be kicking butt in this one, right, Ali?
Yeah, I mean, we expect them to win. It should be exciting.
It should be exciting, yeah. Don, your thoughts? We are days away. How excited are you?
I'm pretty excited. Looking forward to the 20-point plus wins.
At least. At least.
We should. We should. We'll try.
We own the SEABA.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know what? We will be bringing that to you on all platforms as well of sports5.ph. But again, Coach Jong Uichico is here with us because this is a rare opportunity that we get to actually speak to somebody who is inside in the Gilas camp. And first of all, how are the preparations, Coach? Ilang araw na lang. Eto na tayo.
Yeah, so far, so good. We're on track. In fact, we practiced twice yesterday to catch up on the things that we need to catch up because Andre just arrived. We're off today, then we're back to practice tomorrow for the next 2 days. And then for the game on the 12th against Myanmar.
Okay, now.
So everything looks good.
How about Andre? Kamusta? Mataba? Kondisyon?
Andre naman is really on the heavy side, but he seems to be in good shape. He was able to practice the day he arrived and then practice twice yesterday. So he seems to be in good shape.
Big bone, you know.
Yeah, he's heavy. I mean,
how important is that, guys? I mean, your game shape. You need to be in game shape in like 3 days. He's had like what? How many practices na, Coach? Tatlo, apat na practice.
Three practices.
You think that's gonna cut it?
Hindi, pero galing naman siya ng China eh.
Yeah, that was a month ago. So what do you think,
Yeah.
Ali? You think it's gonna? You think he's gonna be?
Well, it depends on it. You look fine, right? When
he looked good. He looked all right. Yeah. It's not like he wasn't able to finish practice. So he seems to be in decent shape, not in great shape, but in decent shape to play like 30 minutes.
All right. Well, Andre Blatch, of course, is going to be teaming up with some of his old mates. You have Junmar Fajardo, Japet Aguilar, Troy Rosario, Jason Castro, Calvin Abueva, and Terrence Romeo. But all the rest, bago sa kanya yan. They're all new guys to him. So how is he taking to the youngsters on the team?
Well, Andre naman he's easy to get along with. He's happy guy, serious in practice, but he jokes around also. So I think he won't, no one will have a hard time getting along with him.
Who's his favorite
or vice
one?
versa.
Who's his favorite one among
the young
guys?
He likes Gio. He likes a small little point guard that runs around the floor. So it's like parang mamaya nandyan siya, mamaya wala na. Parang mamaya wala siya, then all of a sudden he's there trying to snatch the ball away from him.
Yeah.
He's 7 foot and here's a guy 5'8", trying to steal the ball away.
Right.
So he
gonna
likes
be
him.
interesting,
He's
yeah.
makulit kasi si Gio.
Right, and another thing about international competitions is, we were asking Coach Jong before we actually came on air, yung room assignments pagdating dun sa hotel. I mean, who gets to bunk with who? I mean, Ali, Don, I mean, you guys bunked with each other when you were in Alaska. I remember that you're sharing the same room, and then of course when you're in other teams, you're sharing rooms also with other people. And you get to learn a lot more. So what's that like?
I think Coach Cho tries to bridge the gap between the communication gap, like yung mga Phil-Am and then local, yung Inglesero tsaka di Inglesero. So pag mga ganon, di ba, Coach Jong agree with me? If not, yung mga guys like Matthew Wright, siguro
he's the only one there though.
Yeah, prepare niya kay
I think
Pogoy or
sometimes he goes with Pogoy, mga ganun ba. Coach Shot just tries to mix things up so that you get close.
Right.
He doesn't like we're comfortable, we're always roommates. He likes to mix things up.
Yeah, so you're gonna be all at the hotel already tomorrow, and then your practice will be in Araneta, ready? Or
No,
Meralco pa rin?
we don't have practice in Araneta. We'll have practice in Meralco tomorrow.
Okay, but there's no chance that you're gonna have a practice in Araneta.
We did last night, and that's it.
And that's it. Wala na. So Friday night, the next one.
Unless you shoot arounds in the morning, siguro.
Oh, that's it. That's pretty much it.
Kung kailangan nyo ng gym, Coach, the upper deck is always there.
Yeah, I know.
I love the plug. I love the
Pag libre,
plug.
punta kami.
Para sa Gilas, para sa bayan.
Ayan. Chat natin mo, libre.
I always saw that coming. You have any questions for Coach Jong, Ali?
Well, yeah, you coached the 2002 team, right? And You know, one of the things, I mean, that was almost 20 years. Yeah, almost 20 years
That's
ago.
almost 20 years.
So the game has changed so much, and you know, in that time frame, what do you think is the biggest difference between the national teams now in the last 5 years in comparison to the national team back then?
Well, you know, before we just used to get, you know, best talent available, right? And let's play. And we were at par. Now, the change in the game is we can't do that anymore. We need, because the other teams are also getting talented. We're getting talented, but we're almost, you know, comparable, if not them higher.
You expanded it by creating a pool, which I thought was a great idea.
Right.
That happened about 10 years ago or 12 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So you could kind of.
We started in 2002. We started with 24 pool.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we started with 24-man pool,
right,
which I thought was already the how do you say, the start of that. You know, it's easier. The program. I thought that's a foundation. But it's, you know, it just got cut, and then we're down to 12 again, 15, and then we're back to 24 now.
And of course, the versatility of the players now. You know, you got a lot of. I mean, the game has gone small ball, so you have a lot of guys you have a lot of big guys. Back then, I could think of the big guys, and they were just mainly post-up guys.
That's right.
And now you got guys that can not only post up, but they can shoot three-point shots. I mean, if I think about, you know, all the bigs, maybe with the exception of Junmar, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Junmar could knock down some three-point shots every once in a while. But you look at the bigs that you guys have now, and those guys, would you agree, are all interchangeable guys?
They
can
are.
play so many different positions out there on the court.
That's
So-
5 guys, 6'7" and above.
5, 6, 7 and above. I mean, Raymond Almazan, who I chose, they didn't choose, which I think is crazy.
You're a genius.
You got unbelievable. You know, I thought that was a great pickup for you guys. I mean, he's been known to hit three-point shots every once in a while. I also think he can move around really well with the system
He's
that you guys
agile,
run. Very agile. And also those the pick and roll defense, I think. And he blocks shots.
That's
He's very
right. He's
athletic
long.
as well. He's very long. So
Hey, in 2002, they did have an outside shooting big man, Mick Panisi.
okay, yeah. I mean, well, I'm talking about versatility
Right.
and athleticism.
Talking to you, Mick.
Well, yeah, Mick is an interesting guy. I love him to death. He still won't admit his true age. Like he'll come to me and he'll tell me that he's still in his late 30s. We're about the same age.
He's about 43 now.
Just
He's about 43, but he always swears that he's in his late 30s.
He's
just check how he runs, then you'll know.
Oh, that's it. That's how you gotta do it. And the beard.
That's the biggest tell right there. Well, again, you know, for the Gilas preparations already, you are on track already, Coach.
Yes.
That's where you want to be. Now let's talk about the opposition. All right, we all know that you'll be going up against 6 teams. Probably 3 of those teams would probably give you a good first half, at least in the minds of many basketball experts. And we're talking about the 3 teams we're talking about here would probably be Singapore, Thailand, and Indonesia. All right, Malaysia sana, if they sent their best team. Why do you think Malaysia didn't send their best team?
We're all speculating, maybe because they want to concentrate for the Southeast Asian games, and probably they said, you know, we have no chance here in SEABA. We're hosting the SEA Games, and let's do our best in the SEA Games.
Right, because the last time the Philippines actually lost in international competition in the Southeast Asian region, at least, was in 1989 when Malaysia beat the Philippines. I still remember the score, 107-99. And that, 107-99. That was August 23, 1989.
That's high, for amateur game, 107-99.
Yeah, Jun Reyes actually cut that down to a 4-point game, but they just kept on shooting and they kept on making the shots. And Malaysia was actually leading by 23 points in that game.
They shot so well.
They shot so well. I mean, that team had a very young Verhel Meneses, very young Jun Limpot, Jerry Esplana was on that team. Jun Reyes, Guido Babilonia, Apit Hao, Dodong Poslanes. That was a pretty solid team that they had there. But Malaysia, just for some reason, on that day, couldn't miss.
Well, that's what we're saying. You know, let's talk about overkill, but you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen in a given game, and then all of a sudden, the other team gets lucky, and here we are. We should have done this.
Right.
So now we're here. Let's just play the game.
And there have been many close calls in Southeast Asia. I remember in 2004, we had a youth team. We were hosting the SEABA Youth Championship. Our players there were Jason Castro, Dylan Ababu. They were part of our youth team. We were up against Singapore. Singapore led most of the way, and we beat them by 4 points in that game. And they had Desmond O, who's not on the team right now. He scored 32 in that game. But I covered that game, and I said, wow, Singapore is getting better. And in Vietnam in 2003, we beat them by 4 points also. Vietnam's getting better. Championship game in 1991, SEA Games, we beat Thailand by 4 points. Hey, they're getting better. So, Coach, my point here is Southeast Asia really getting better?
They're getting better. The problem with the Southeast Asian or ASEAN is because they don't have tournaments before. But now they have professional leagues. And the more you play, the better you get. We had the luxury of playing how many games in the PBA. So we get better. But they're there also. They're already playing more games and they'll only get better. So if we don't, if we don't address that, all of a sudden we might find, yes, we're very talented, but they'll get talented also. We might find that all of a sudden, one tournament, all of a sudden, they send their best team and then...
SEA Games ka. Ganun ang mangyayari sa SEA Games.
Exactly.
They're going to have their A team. Malaysia's going to have their A team in the SEA Games. We're talking about guys like Ma, Kwek, Ivan Yo. They're all going to be there from Malaysia. And we're going to be sending the guys who were not selected for this team.
Because
think about that.
The guys that were selected will go to Lebanon to play the FIBA
Asia Cup, right? So,
assuming that we win in the SEABA.
So we're going to have starting centers with the names of Fonso Gotladera going up against the likes of Kwek and
not
and
that
Ivan
they're
Yo.
not good, but the talent level is not anymore that far.
Right. But again, it's a challenge for we can't call them the B team. We can just call them Gilas team that's going to Southeast Asian Games.
That's right. Like now, this is the SEABA 12, then this is the Southeast Asian 12.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's still good experience.
It is.
And for those guys that didn't quote unquote make it, because they might get called back. And I just.
That's right, Ali. Eventually, they'll make it.
Yeah.
It's just not now.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that the SEABA 12 will not be the FIBA Asia Cup 12.
That's correct.
So there might be some tweaking involved also.
Yes, like there's some players now that we'd like to see in the SEABA so that we can make the assessment right away. So we can, we can...
And then in the SEA Games, ganun din. Parang, we'll see how you do in the SEA Games and then...
No, there will really be two teams. There will really be two teams. One is for the Southeast Asian Games and one is for the FIBA Asia Cup.
Now, Coach, as we move on, we have a few more minutes left here anyway. Let's talk about the three threats, or as we call it here. Myanmar is your opening game. I don't really think that's a threat. They don't even have a scouting report. They don't have a player above 6'5", and they don't have a professional
I was watching their
league.
game today in 2015 against Singapore.
They lost by what, 98?
Yeah, or 2000, I don't know. But I was just watching them.
Right. I think they lost by 98 against Singapore. Against Singapore. Yeah. Well, Singapore's a good team. I'm going to get to Singapore in just a bit.
Okay.
So Vietnam, they do have a few players that played in the ABL, but those few players aren't really role players in the ABL. Which now brings us to Malaysia. They're sending their B team, so that's not really a factor.
Yeah.
3 more teams remain. We're talking about Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand. What is your assessment of these 3 countries?
Thailand will be the #1 opponent, and then Singapore will be #2. And 3, probably Indonesia, because they have their naturalized player.
Yeah.
So, well, Thailand has been always our adversary, if you can call that, in the SEA Games and in the SEABA also. So, I think Thailand will be our #1.
So pag Thailand, coach, less than 20 points yun. Panalo natin sa kanila. Tama ba?
History, ganun na nangyayari.
Okay.
So,
No,
kailangan
again,
we should be always ready.
Hey, we don't know. As I said, 1991, the gold medal game for the men's basketball championships. 1991, we were the hosts. We won the game against Thailand by 4 points. We had Jun Limport, we had Bong Ravenna, we had Verhel Meneses on that team. We only won by 4. They didn't have a professional league at the time either. So we don't know.
We were in SEABA in, I don't remember when, a few years ago. We played Singapore the first game. We were, I think, up by 11 at halftime, and I was furious. Up by 11. I said, we're up by 11, you've got to work hard.
I was going to ask you that question. I mean, is it important to get a win? Of course, it's always important to get a win, but of course, you want that large gap.
Well, of course, what we're trying to do is we're trying to send a message to the rest of the countries.
Yeah,
that's what we want to do.
I mean, the more you give them confidence, I mean, the more they'll,
It's like, oh, did you hear about
Right.
Philippines, Gilas?
yeah.
They spanked us by 50 points.
Well, you know what? I don't think anything's
Yung
gonna
impact
top.
na ganun eh.
I don't think anything's gonna top Myanmar losing to Singapore by 98 points or something like that. But you know, Myanmar is gonna be the first assignment, and then it's going to be, I believe, Singapore. Kaagad. So that's right after
Singapore.
after Myanmar.
Singapore,
It's gonna be Singapore,
then
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
So-
Then we take a day off. We're
Yeah.
playing Thailand after the day off. And then Vietnam, and then Indonesia.
All right. Now Thailand is not the same Thailand team that we saw in
I think
2013.
No,
They have like 4 or 5 people left
Yeah.
from that 2013
yeah,
team.
I think they want to get young also, like we
Right.
do. So there's changing of the guards
Right.
already.
As of, baliktad naman, sa Indonesia, they have their old team. It's still intact. Mario Uisang is still their point guard, right?
Yes,
So-
the guy with the
yeah,
young
yeah.
band.
So is it going to be the same style? You can also talk about the coaching styles of the different nations involved here, also, coach.
Well, Singapore will have a foreign coach.
Yeah, the
I think.
Australian. He's an
Right? So
Australian
we've
coach.
got to see how he,
Yeah.
his system is. The Indonesian coach, when I went there, yeah, I saw the way he's more freewheeling.
So
more
nanonood din
free.
kayo na IBL?
No,
Don't
I
you
watch
the
our
IBL?
national team play.
Okay.
Yeah. More freewheeling, but I was looking at really their naturalized player. Singapore and Malaysia, we weren't able to see much except for the ABL teams because most of their
Yeah, well, Singapore, most of their national
right.
team players were there.
Well, we
anyway.
didn't know at that time that Malaysia won't bring their top players, but
So,
we still
so
scouted.
you're looking at Thailand. Sino yung sunod na mabigat?
It should be Singapore.
Singapore and,
And
then
then
Indonesia would be the next. So, you guys have any other questions? Huh? Oh, okay. Before we continue, you can just speak louder. Although we took some time earlier. Actually, I took some time to visit the practice of Gilas Pilipinas to check out some of our friends there and get to talk to one of the intriguing new recruits from the Gilas Cadets, now making it all the way to the SEABA 12. Let's talk to R.R. Pogoy in this special interview. Alright mga kasnok, kasama natin dito ngayon si R.R. Pogoy, first-time national team member. Nung naglalaro ka ba sa Cebu, naisip mo ba in your wildest dreams na isang araw ako'y magdadala sa Pilipinas sa international competition?
Sa totoo lang, wala. Kasi yung pangarap ko lang talaga is makapunta sa PBA. So, sobrang bait ni Kad. Hindi lang PBA, pati national team binigay niya sa akin.
Grabe yung expectations naman sa inyo ngayon. Gaano kabigat yan na national team ka, sa sarili niyong lupa kayo lalaban para sa SEABA Championship sa SEABA na milyong-milyong Pilipino manonood sa'yo?
Sobrang bigat. Malaki yung expectation ng mga tao. Lalo na sa amin, mga bago pa kami. Tapos, kailangan din kasing manalo para ma-qualify sa FIBA Asia.
Okay, ngayon, alam natin sa TNT, kakampi mo si Jason Castro, pero ngayon dito sa torneyong to, kasama mo Jason Castro, Calvin Abueva, Terence Romeo, na of course nakasama mo rin si FEU, June Marfardo, Japet Aguilar, probably the best players in the PBA ngayon. Ano naman ang pumapasok sa isip mo tuwing dumarating ka sa practice at alam mo makakalaban mo itong mga magagaling na ito?
Masaya ako kasi bihira lang sila makasama. Lalo na sa baguhan, parang dream come true na makasama yung mga bigatin sa PBA.
Kwentuhan mo kami tungkol kay Coach Chot. First time mo kasi ma-under dito kay Coach Chot. Anong naisip mo nung nakita mo, uy, Coach Chot, stricto yata ito ah.
Oo nga, medyo gano'n na, stricto konti, pero mas more on, nagbibigay siya ng mga motivation, o gano'n, parang pinapaano kanya, na parang lalabas talaga yung laro mo. Tapos yung sistema naman is parehas lang kay Coach Nas, kaya medyo hindi ako nahirapan.
So ngayon, ito, kakalabanin nyo ngayon the rest of Southeast Asia. Anong mensahe mo ngayon sa mga milyon-milyong Pilipinong susuporta para sa Gilas, sa darating na torneo?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako sa kanila na walang sawang pagsuporta sa amin. Tapos bibigyan namin yung 100% talaga para lang manalo.
Okay, last question. Alam ko bagito ka sa team na ito. Sino pinakaloko-loko dito sa Gilas na team? Atin lang.
Siguro kami ni Raymond, kami.
Yung dalawa pa, umaamin ka pa kasama ka doon. Bakit? Ba't mo nasabi yun?
Kasi kami lang pero may maglokohan Raymond tsaka si Calvin, kami tatlo.
Kasama ka talaga doon. Anong kalokohan mo ginagawa niyo?
Kahit ano lang, basta tumatawa lang kami, patawa kami.
Yes. R.R. Pogoy, ladies and gentlemen, kasama po sa ating mga manok ng bayan, Gilas Pilipinas. R.R. Pogoy from Cebu, interesting character, Coach. Ano masasabi mo tungkol dito kay Pugoy? Are they oblivious of what's going to happen to them in the next few days? Or are they excited? Ito mga bagito.
I think all of them are excited. There'll be some nervousness always, but they're really excited. It's different to play for the national team in front of your hometown, for your countrymen. And I'm sure that they'll really do their best, come out and play their best.
Who among the youngsters has impressed you personally, Coach?
And si Pugoy.
Pugoy.
Yeah.
Why? What about him?
He gets you what? 10 rebounds for a guard. I mean, he can shoot the open shot. He doesn't look for his shot.
Right.
But if it's there, he'll take it. And he just, how do you say, just plays a team game and doesn't care if he looks good or bad, just as long as he gets things done.
Right. Among the veterans naman, Coach, sino yung pagtingin mo, uy, swak na swak ka sa Gilas buti nandito ka. Sino yung ganon among the veterans?
Well, the veterans that were not included, that are newcomers, si Matthew Wright.
Rookie pa rin yun, ha?
Correct. He's a veteran in the sense that he's 26, I think. He's 26 or 27. So, yeah. I mean, he fills a spot that we need. He can shoot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think on the other side, he complements guys like Elaine Maliksi really well. They're both long guards, wings, about 6'4", both athletic,
athletic,
three-point capability, can break you down, get to the basket. They love attacking the basket, both of them.
So how about Raymond Almazan? Ali's right. We didn't include Raymond Almazan, excuse me, in our final 12. What was the catalyst to bring Raymond Almazan into the team? Now you have 5 giants.
We wanted to really take a look at him if he's really a Gilas player.
Is he?
We'll see in the tournament.
Hindi pa alam, okay.
We'll see in the tournament if he's Gilas player, meaning can he help in the system that Coach Chot is running? Because he's tall. Ali said he can shoot the 3. Because we don't really need a legit big man inside, because you have Junmar and Andre. But you need someone that can spread the floor, like Japet, more athletic, agile, shot blocker, more, agile, agility. So,
go ahead, Ali.
we want to take a look at him.
You've coached a lot of great players, especially during our time. The San Miguel teams, the Ginebra teams, and out of this young batch, because they have their whole careers ahead of them, who do you think has that factor, that it factor? I'm not talking so much about celebrity and crowd favorite, but that person that is going to give you those championships, the guy that's going to lead. You played. The people that come to mind.
Who's your Olsen Rosella?
Or your Joel Pug?
Danny Ildefonso. And over on Ginebra, you had guys like, Fast and Furious, Rudy Hatfield, even Eric Menk. I mean, is there anyone here that
in the Gilas?
In the Gilas now. I mean, one player, maybe 2 players that has that.
Of course, aside from what? The new one, Junmar, no?
Okay, I mean, outside, Junmar, but the guys that are the young ones, the ones the new additions, because a lot of these guys are rookies.
Halalon, right?
Right.
Pugoy is also in there,
Sorry.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because they're young. I mean, they're still really young, but. Probably it could be Gio and Pugoy. It could be Gio and Pugoy.
Yeah, it feels like it actually also.
What I like about those 2 guys, like I've always used this term, super rookies. These guys have been averaging double figures, especially in the All-Filipino. And Gio just has this motor; it doesn't stop. What I like about our Pugoy is, I always love guards that like to post up.
Right.
And I think it's a great addition to Katropa TNT, because I haven't seen guards since I was part of that system post up.
Right.
And I mean, a point guard. being able to be physical like that. I mean, I think about the guys like Jerry Splana that love to post up a lot. You know, and I've always, you know, and of course in the NBA, Gary Payton, you know, and I mean those types of physical point guards.
So you think Gio Lalo might be in that mold?
The only thing that Gio's, I mean, experience, maturity, Gio will get there. He's still out of, you know, he's not yet under control, but he'll get there when maturity comes. But
that's why you have a Gio Lapag there, right?
You know, he'll play hard every single time, and it's all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Well, we are gonna see Gio Lalon, R.R. Pogoy, Matthew Wright, and the rest of Gilas Pilipinas in action starting May 12 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. If you haven't gotten your tickets, do so now. We're going to see Coach Jong also working the sidelines, and Ali, Don, and I will probably do an episode there. Who knows? At the Smart Araneta Coliseum. So it will be a very busy week. We need that one slot to the FIBA Asia Cup. That is, of course, this coming August in Beirut, Lebanon. If we win this, we get there. If we don't win this, what the heck's going to happen to us?
We don't get there.
We don't get there. So this is our lone portal to get to the FIBA Asia Cup, which used to be called the FIBA Asia Championship, by the way. So we are going to support Gilas Pilipinas 100% from May 12 to 18. We want you guys to be there. Coach Jong Uichico, thank you for joining us here in Post Play.
Thank you for having me.
Maraming salamat.
My pleasure.
All right, party shots from you, Don Aliado.
For the cleanest kicks here in the Philippines, follow Repent Manila on Facebook and Instagram. Repent Manila.
All right, you got something like that?
No, I don't. I just have myself.
Why don't you greet your mechanic?
Better do a good job.
All right. He's Don Aliado, he's Ali Peak, he's Jong Uichico, my name is Noel Zarate. See you at the Smart Araneta Coliseum from May 12 to 18 for the 2017 SEABA. This has been Post Play.